How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. First and foremost, thank you to the Hbar community for showing tremendous amount of love. But yeah, let's take a look at, what's happening with Hbar's price right now, and of course, what we could be expecting going into Tuesday morning. Now, looking across the market, once again, a lot of green. As far as, the market is concerned, we are in this bullish trajectory over the last, I would say, 1 week. I'm sure, no one's really complaining right now because let's face it, the last 2.5 months to almost 3 months have been quite bearish for the market. So, finally some sort of excitement coming into the markets, which of course is always nice to see. If you're looking across the board, a lot of coins still in the green. But if you're looking at Hbar right now, we are seeing a little bit of a minor pullback. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of a pullback, about 2.4% both in Bitcoin and USD, and the price is currently sitting just below 19 cents. The valuation sitting exactly at $8 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $200 million. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So I want to really take a look at the dominance index first. You guys know it's not a Crypto ZX update unless we don't discuss the dominance. You guys can see this for yourself. Dominance pretty much still at 64.3%. So remember yesterday's update, I did cover this in my XRP update if you did end up watching that. If not, obviously we're going to cover that in here. Yesterday we talked about how the dominance was pulling down. Obviously we're in a weekend. On the weekends more manipulation than usual as CME futures are closed. But I did say if we don't drop below 64.11%, it's not a time to be getting excited. And that's exactly what ended up not happening. We did see dominance pretty much picking up, pretty much where it left off. So you could see this for yourself. It's just not really a time to be getting excited. And, if you did watch my XRP update last night, we specifically talked about how, this specific run is more institutional driven. Dominance speaks for itself, where the smart money is going. And of course, as dominance index goes up, it's, a really, really good indicator to, kind of tell us, where things are really going. So right now, even though we are seeing excitement within altcoins, it's mainly institutional driven. But if you're looking at Bitcoin price right now, pretty much ranging around 95K. We actually did close the daily candle above 95K. Seen a little bit of a retracement since then, but so far so good. If you're looking at Hbar though, Hbar did see a little bit of a minor pullback, of course, as we discussed with you guys earlier in the update. So let's kind of give it a refresh live and take a look at it on the hourly time frame. So you can see this for yourself. I want to kind of zoom in here for you guys. So you can see, we were sitting at the likes of 19.9 cents. We actually retested almost 20 cents just a few hours ago and have seen obviously a little bit of a rejection. And again, if you want to put this into perspective, about a 5% pullback over the last, few hours. Why is that the case? Because remember, 20 cent psychological price, of course, we're going to see a little bit of a hard time breaking out of that key range. And of course, the 24-hour trading volume isn't as high as, we would like to see it, which of course is also something that we need to factor in. But, nice steady rise is something that, we don't want to really be forgetting. We are still in this upward trajectory with the way dominance is still sitting at the likes of 64.3%. It's still really, really impressive the way Hbar is moving. Obviously, the 61.8 is what a lot of people tend to talk about. Again, that's a level that we haven't seen since the beginning of March. So, we're almost approaching 2 months since the last time, we were sitting above that. So, of course, it should tell you how important that level really is. But as of now, we're still ranging around this level. Do expect a little bit choppy net levels because of the fact that, obviously we do have significant amount of resistance. But if we break out of that 20 cents key resistance, I am personally projecting, as I've stated in the last update, this 61.8 target to be retested. But let me know down below what you guys personally think. What are your personal predictions? Where do you see the price of Hbar going? Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your support. You guys are amazing. Hit that red subscribe button if not done so already. We'll see you later from Crypto ZX, and peace out.